Hi, everybody, and welcome to Digital Champions. I'm your host, Charlene Shirk, where we speak to some of the most innovative thinkers in the digital space. And today we're joined by John Geletka, Geletka Plus. Thanks, John, so much for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Now we got to ask. We're in
this conversation.
balmy Jacksonville, Florida, so I got to ask, how's the weather in Chicago?
Gray and cold, as you'd expect for probably the next few months.
The next few months, but still beautiful city. And tell us what Geletka Plus does in Chicago.
Yeah, so we are we're a small agency. We're located in the West Loop, and we're focused really on three areas: creative, brand and messaging, and technology. And so the bulk of the work and the bulk of any modern business is rooted in technology, but it's really about storytelling across thousands and thousands of channels, right? And that requires branding, that requires creative, that requires a deep understanding of how these technologies work.
And who are you telling these stories
So,
for? Who do you feel is your niche customer, or is this just across the board? If a company needs help getting their brand out, we're the guy for the job.
I'd like to say we're for everybody, but we find ourselves, we play well in a couple niches, right? We're working a lot in CPG, we're working a lot in AI, and then we're working in manufacturing where we've got some deep, deep roots in very large multi-billion-dollar manufacturing firms.
And John, what do you see in terms of the digital space where the key things that you should be paying attention to over the next couple of years? I mean, the pandemic really pivoted quite a bit of what we thought we knew about the digital medium. And people are saying, oh, you know what, because of this, we've had to make this change. But based on that, what changes do you see coming up in the next couple of years, if anybody can really know at this point?
Yeah, if I had that crystal ball, I would love to share it. But like, there's a couple big, I think, important things. What's cool about digital now is, being in this space for 20 years, is it's so much more accessible. More people can spin up a website, build an app with no code or low code, and bring stuff to market. And to a lot of businesses, that's scary. But for us, that's fun because it means we get to focus on the new. We get to learn. We get to dive into new technologies like AI, learn it. We don't have to constantly, as an agency, be involved in the same old patterns of a website. And all the continuing new channels, like right diving into something like TikTok, which isn't even new anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
really creating content and telling a brand story, if it makes sense, if it even makes sense for the brand, right, to be there. That to me is really fun and a huge shift to pay attention to. It's just more and more people can be in this space and create without having to be like a total tech nerd.
Well, you can create in the space, but so many people are just trying to run a business. This is not, their area of expertise. So, what in what you do and where you do it, what is the biggest challenge that people are coming to you, that potential customers or your clients are facing, that you have to solve right off the bat before you can even move forward?
Yeah, so we see a lot of the normal challenges, right? I need to be top of mind in organic search. I need to have a brand that people love, and that means right in metrics they stay on the site and they convert. And there's the normal order of business. But one of the things that our clients are coming to us a lot for is high volume content production. And what does that mean, right? That's a word that's tossed around, but it means that it can produce content at scale for thousands and thousands of different channels, from your website to your TikTok to your search to your ads to your Reddit to wherever your business is, and then everything internal and your employees' phones and intranets and on and on and on. So to produce content at scale used to be just for the big guys, right? You'd spend millions and millions of dollars of production value, millions and millions of dollars, and great writers, and it was good content. And I forgot to mention content at scale, but well-crafted content at scale, which is
Mm-hmm.
really, really important to brands. And that's what we are winning on, is we can produce not just stuff that's produced in Canva and templated, but we can produce real original content with artists that is affordable and bring that to companies that normally couldn't, to compete in a modern world.
Yeah, today it is quantity, 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 but it still has to be quality. It has to be quality
It
and
does.
quantity. So, what's the $1 million tip that you would give somebody about content creation?
Um, use so what's changing content creation is you can create good content with groups of people by collaborating, right? So collaboration is king when it comes to content creation. That could be as simple as doubling or tripling up photographers on a shoot for a day. That can be as progressive as going and using a micro influencer platform to create content and giving some product away. And what that does is you'll get a quarter or a half year of video, stills, rich content. Plug some of that into. I know I knocked Canva a little bit, but these tools are good if you put some original content into them. And take that 1 or 2 days of production, put it into a system. I believe Squarespace has one too. I think it's Untold. That's really really good for stories as well. And use these tools and don't the other $1 million. It's an old school thing, but it took me a long time to learn. Is like stick to your brand story. Don't deviate. Keep a constant drumbeat on your message with your value prop, and don't when it comes to any sort of digital content, don't chase trends. Right, stick to your brand message, your value prop, who you are, and produce that at scale. And brands who do that win, even though it can be kind of boring for a marketer because we're not like chasing the cool stuff.
No shiny squirrels. Stay the path. No shiny
No,
squirrels.
stay the path, and what you'll find is the path is a big shiny squirrel.
Oh, I love. Oh, we're going to end on that one because that's a perfect. That's quotable. Well, John, thank you so much for joining us today on Digital Champions.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was
All right,
this was fun.
the path will become the shiny squirrel. That's like a Yoda moment there we just had. Well, that was John Geletka with Geletka Plus, and if you'd like to learn more about what he's doing over there in the Windy City, you can check him out on dailyadbrief.com. And that's going to do it for us today on Digital Champions. Hope you learned something new. We always like to hope that you do. I'm your host, Charlene Shirk, and we will see you next time.